Namaste. So, this is a poem of Sri Aurobindo. Lovely poem. All the poems are lovely, of course. But it is titled in a very nice way, beautiful way, The Little Ego. That's not how the ego would like to be known. It's a great ego. You see, some of those old time Indian families were all great grandfather, and he's our great grandfather. The fellow is dead and gone, he doesn't even know. But that sense of, I have all this, my prajati. So, this kind of, if you look at it, nothing. All selfish fellows, products, multiplying chaos in the world, but still, the ego can be such, little ego. And then she says, this puppet ego the world mother made. Ego is one of the, if we look at now, Shobinda has put it so beautifully. In Sankhya, when we see all that belongs to nature, according to some it will be calculation 17 or 23 or 24, that's a different thing. But one of them is ahankar. That's what Sankaracharya says, no? Mano, Buddha, Ahankar. So there is of course the 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 bhutas, panchabhut, and then one of them is ahankar. Why? Because something has to hold together, give us the sense of self. So ego gives us the sense of I. But actually the real I is hidden behind. So ego is like the house saying it is me. There is a nice poem of Tagore that Jagannath Rath is going out. And he says, maybe Bengali I may miss out, but I'll translate in English. But the Bengali touch is interesting here. He says that people are falling on the ground because Jagannath Rath is coming. He says, Path bhave ami dev. The road is thinking, I am God. They are falling on me. Rath bhave ami dev. The chariot thinks, I am God. And the idol, it thinks I am God. And then at the end he says, Hasya antaryami. The one who is dwelling inside all is laughing. So very often it happens, people, even how careful one has to be. I often feel it should be a reminder put up everywhere that the respect that people give to us in the ashram is only and only because of Sri Aurobindo. Sometimes people behave in such a way and people still give a respect. Why? Because of Sri Aurobindo's name. If you were outside and you behave like this, you will probably get a big blow. They have not seen outside. No, it's a frankly speaking, because sometimes such rude behavior and people who are coming, they are all from very nice, not just background like humanly, but very excellent people who had deep connect with Mother and Sri Aurobindo. But no, Sri Aurobindo ashram, no, Sri Aurobindo, they just go. So it's something which should be, I think, now time to write and at least inscribed that all the respect that you receive in any department, anywhere, is only and only and only because somewhere they feel you belong to Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. That's how it is. But the little ego doesn't understand this. It thinks they are, me. So this puppet ego the world mother made. It's a plaything. Like the puppet dance. Who is controlling is the someone who is hidden. So behind the ego personality, there is the true individual self, the psychic being, and the immanent divine, but the ego does not know. This little profiteer of nature's works. See, nature gives intelligence. Actually, if you look at it just by analysis, nothing belongs to you. People say, no, but I became a doctor by my own efforts. What your efforts? You could make effort because you have been given the capacity to make effort. Your intelligence is a gift. Your ability to memorize is a gift. What is it that is uniquely your own? Nothing. If you just analyze and see. This little, but you profit, it profits. That's why, people who have these capacities use them for selfish ends. There's nothing worse than that. It was given to us. The least we could do is to, when we leave, use them to make at least this world or at least one human life better. This is the minimum. Her trust in his life-tenancy betrayed. Nature has given for a different purpose, to become a instrumental personality. She trusts, but it is betrayed. Her trust in his life-tenancy betrayed. After one life, this ego personality dissolves. There is no Alok, there is no Pandey. Both vanish along with the doctor. So, who remembers what you are and what you were? Even in higher worlds, your name changes. That Nalnida, his name in the higher worlds was Satyogi, Satyogi. Once Niruddha saw him because in his trance state he was saying Satyogi, Satyogi. And then he came back, who is Satyogi? He said, no, that's my name in the overmind regions. Your name changes. But I am so and so, people come, take out card. And you know who I am. Whoever you are, bhai. This is the other extreme. So it's a life tenancy. For one life, an ego personality is constructed out of mud and water, shaped by all the people, environment, society, convention, books, conditioning, 100 things. And it says, this is you and yours. Makes claim on claim. All dead to her he shrinks. This ego. I want the whole world. I have the right. There are religions which say, God created man to enjoy the lower creatures. He created them only for man's enjoyment. Some go to another level. God created women for the enjoyment of men. No, it's time we should speak about these things, whether it's there in religion or not, but this is how it is practiced. It goes to such absurdity. What else it is but ego aggrandizement? It believes that the whole world is my food. So that's how it grows along the lines of the titan until it collapses under its own weight. Makes claim on claim. You can't even hold yourself, but you claim your wife, husband, children, everybody, me and mine. All debt to her he shirks, but doesn't want to pay back the debt that nature has given. Intelligence, a heart, life energy, even a body, healthy body. So all that is debt. In Vedas they speak about these threefold debts. The debt to Bhumi, Bhurin. Earth has formed, given matter for you to. So we owe something to the earth. Bhurin. Pitrarin, the ancestors. They instilled something within us. Some kind of values, some kind of idealism. At least they nurtured us and cared for us. And they were in. The gods who labor to uplift us to higher and higher ideals. And a person who doesn't pay these three debts, it is said is a thief. Because he took all this and went away. Stole and went away. So he shirks. Each movement of our life, our ego feels. Even when we say, this poem of Sri Aurobindo, he said, I am egoless, free. Then swore because his dinner was not ready. I asked him, are you sure? He said, it's not me, but my belly god that is unsteady. And spiritual ego, it's I am someone, something. Sadhak is a sadhak of integral yoga. Who is sadhak? Divine Mother is the only sadhak. We are recipients of the prasad. To her credit, she has somehow forced us, made our palms turn like this so that we can receive the prasad. That's all. But sadhak, people have this. And there also, there's so much ego. We are someone special. We are doing sadhana. We are yogis, some Superman in the making. Superman is full of humility. That's what the Sri Aurobindo says. He is a servant of all. He readily makes himself servant of all. Because he is Superman, just like God. So he says, each movement of a life, our ego fills. Inwoven. Somebody once told me, sir, I wanted to consult. He says, I don't have ego. So I said, okay, hold on. If you are free from ego, you'll have no problems, You won't come and consult about how to get rid of. So people mistake ego for egoism. That's another part. One may not have egoism of a very strong kind. But still the ego, the sense of a separate being, the original illness or the imperfection from which springs tentacles like desires. Because ego wants to reclaim infinity, because deep within is the infinite. So it tries to amass, make the whole world egoistically itself. Why? Because deep within there is the thirst for the infinite. So out of this sense of separateness comes ambition, comes desire, comes fear, because this ego personality can be dissolved. All these are born out of the sense of the ego, the original disease. So it is inwoven in each thread of being's weft. I've heard this and narrated this so many times. 50 years he never went out of the ashram. Never stepped beyond the canal. This is not important. The importance is whether you realized the divine or not. Every morning he would sweep outside the ashram. Oh, the person, I am working in mother's room. None of this. Ego can just come anywhere. There is a very famous song by Guru Nanak or Kabir. He says, Maya badi thagani. It sits with Brahma as Brahmani. It still deceives. Even in the gods, it takes, the spiritual ego. There is a line in Savitri, man with his spiritual ego sink. So one has to be constant. This humility is the safeguard and divine, referring everything. This background should always be there. Each movement of our life, our ego fills, inwoven in each thread of being's weft. When most we want our selflessness, it steals a sordid part. No corner void is left. I have lived my life very selflessly. I have done all my duties. Kartavyam karma. I have only given. Oh, you were giving. I see. You were selfless. This is how it steals everywhere. So many examples of this. People remember what they have offered to the divine. Mother says that if you have remembered it, divine will have no need to remember. And then you have offered it to your vanity and not to God. People even put their names. I don't know how this is so crude. In the temples and other places, no? And then they continue for years, holding memorial in the name of somebody who has gone. Let him go in peace. It's okay. Hold something. Why this name must attachment? So much attachment to name, form. They like to see their picture, their murtis. Mother and Sri Aurobindo in the beginning, till 1956, when only to their disciples they would give sometimes their pictures, and in their homes they were supposed to be covered with a parda cloth, and only it was meant for them, so that they could draw sustenance. No propaganda. Now, of course, it's a different thing what people do. But even now, one should be so careful. It's not meant for like a free distribution of Gita books or Bible for that matter. So what should we do? It says, one way lies free. Freedom from the ego, there is only one way. One way lies free, our heart and soul to give, our body and mind to thee, and every cell, these with a capital T. And steeped in thy world infinity to live, them lost in light, then lost in light, shall fade the ignoble spell. It's a spell cast by nature. What is the way out? What beautiful way. Not meditation, oh, I meditate 2.5 hours every day. Every day? Yes, and I also do japa. So many thousand times. God is not pleased. See, this is how it comes everywhere. I have renounced so much. Are you renounce because you are going to get is something priceless. So all this it can come, especially people who take to spiritual life. The spiritual ego is far more dangerous. So one way lies free. Our heart and soul to give. You feel like just stopping to give. To give. But give to whom? Our body and mind. Body also. So that all activities must be acts of consecration to the divine. And mind, thoughts and feelings. Our body and mind to thee. And every cell. And steeped in thy world infinity to live. Then lost in light shall fade the ignoble spell. Brahma Bhut, as the Gita says, or I prefer the word which spontaneously once came, Matri Bhuta, taken up by the divine. I mean, don't talk in Sanskrit term, but filled with the mother, full of the mother, given to her everything, heartbeat, breath, cell, good, bad, like Radha's prayer. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, will, actions, impulsions, everything give to the divine. The very body for your, to become engine for your use. And then whatever you give me, it's not giving with the contract. I gave you, you remember God? But for just that vast infinity, one will automatically live, and that life and that light will remove this spell. There is no other way. You can't, by the mind we cannot work upon the ego. Mind will bring in another back door. It has so many back doors through which it will bring the ego. So the way is not by the mind, but to give to the divine. Mind and heart and soul and body and life. Nature of a rebellion quit shall be a breath of the spirit's vast serenity. Then what happens to nature? When this toy, it has puppet she has created, that goes, then all this revolt and rebellion, which is the way the lower nature advances, it will become a breath of the spirit's vast serenity. How powerful. See, breath is something which moves, it's force, the life energy, the prana. So he is bringing both force and serenity together. Peace, one with force, one with unimaginable rest. So peace and force, wisdom and Shakti, power, they will both come together when one has got rid of the ego, not by the efforts of the mind or any other labor, but by simply giving oneself to the divine, which is the way. The little ego. And there are several steps to love the divine, to serve the divine. Slowly, slowly, ultimately it vanishes. The little ego, this puppet ego the world mother made, this little profiteer of nature's works, her trust in his life-tenancy betrayed, makes claim on claim, all dead to her, he shirks. It wants and wants. Even when it turns to God, it wants. Doesn't want to give. Each movement of a life our ego fills, inwoven in each thread of being's weft. When most we want our selflessness, it steals a sordid part. No corner void is left. One way lies free, our heart and soul to give, our body and mind to thee, and every cell, and steeped in thy world infinity to live. Then lost in light shall fade the ignoble spell. What a word, fade, not break. Fade, it vanishes in that light. Nature of her rebellion quit shall be a breath of the Spirit's vast serenity. Nature of her rebellion quit shall be a breath of the Spirit's vast serenity.